Hey, church fam, we've just come through an incredible sermon series called The Promised Land, and it has blessed me tremendously. I hope and pray that it has blessed you as well. I've been pondering a lot, actually, about the Promised Land series and just some of the dynamics around the first couple chapters of the book of Joshua. And there's a thought that kind of hit me just in conversation I had with Pastor Scott about the process of crossing over into the Promised Land. And for those that maybe don't know the story, Joshua obviously got the nation of Israel together, and there's this part in Joshua chapter 3 that I actually want to read to you because it kind of gives away a little thought I want to share with you today. Starting in verse 1, it says, "Early in the next morning, Joshua and the Israelites left Acacia Grove and arrived at the banks of the Jordan River, where they camped before crossing. 3 days later, the Israelite officers went through the camp, giving these instructions to the people. When you see the Levitical priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord your God, move out from your positions and follow them. Since you have never traveled this way before, they will guide you. Stay about a half a mile behind them, keeping a clear distance between you and the Ark. Make sure that you don't come any closer." As I was thinking about that passage, a couple things really hit me. In order to accomplish or walk out your own personal promised land, you need to follow godly leaders that know how to carry the presence of the Lord and who can guide and lead you to the promised land. Sometimes we think the promises are always just about us, but the promises are so much bigger. They're about those around you, and they often happen in connection to those people we choose to follow. I've lost count how many times in the last number of years where people have a clear call of God on their life, a clear purpose, but they follow all the wrong people and their purpose is diminished. And I want you to know, church, I don't want you to miss anything. I want you to walk out the full promised land experience for your own life and for the things that God has on your life. But I have news for you. We have to follow the right people. And it's interesting, it was leaders that they had to follow, but it was leaders who understood the presence of the Lord. You need to surround yourself with people who understand the presence of the Lord. But there's something else I caught when I was reading this passage. In the New King James, it talks about there being a gap of approximately 1,000 feet between the leaders and the people of Israel. And I've often wondered, is it just simply because of the Ark of the Covenant and the presence of God that they were asked to keep a distance? And I think that's a major part of it, so I don't want you to misunderstand me. But I think another part of it is that there is a leadership gap. Those that follow for the Lord and go after the Lord passionately and pursue Him with all their heart and pursue the presence of God with all their heart and are raised up into leadership, there is a gap. They have sacrificed themselves, they have sanctified themselves, they've purified themselves, and they have given themselves to the proving process of the Lord. And as I've been thinking about this leadership gap, I thought it was really kind of an appropriate time for us to start a series starting this Sunday called The Heart of Leadership. We have many new people at our church. We have many people that have come from not just all over the world, but different church backgrounds. And I thought it'd be appropriate in this season if we could actually just unpack what a leader looks like at Impact Church. What's the heart behind a leader at Impact? What are we looking for in leaders? I believe that we're in this strategic season where God is challenging me as your pastor to continue to reproduce myself into other people so that we can have a variety of pastors, leaders, small group leaders that can actually help to take care of the church. The reality is as we grow, we can't keep the same number of leaders because we won't be able to sustain the growth. So as the church grows, the leaders have to grow, not just in their own spiritual walk, but we have to grow in numbers. We need more leaders. And so this series over the next 5 weeks is actually going to unpack our heart for leadership at the church. As we often say, it's the servant leadership or the Jesus kind of leadership. And I'm actually excited to share that thought with you this Sunday. We'll see you this weekend, church.